Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. America, tujikaze, tujikaze.
Greetings, beautiful people. My name is Simon Java Okelo, and I'm excited to be here with you for another episode of the African Father in America podcast. This is episode 62, and today we are talking about shades of humanity. Humanity. It's a little twist to the normal spelling of humanity, and this, there is just a little bit of a twist that adds an E on hue. The hue, the coloration that you normally see when you are even editing pictures. This hue. So this is an amazing movement that is led by a wonderful sister. Her name is Folake Phillips, and tonight we are going to learn about these sisters. We're going to learn about here is Folake. We're going to learn about her story. We are going to learn about why she's organizing the Humankind virtual festival. We are going to learn about her thoughts about her perspectives on Black fathers globally, and then we are going to learn about how you, our viewers, can stay connected to her and can also attend her virtual festival that is coming up soon. I hope you're all doing well, and I want to share with you just a little more about Folake Phillips. Folake Phillips is the founder of AWO, and AWO is the word for skin and also color in the Yoruba language of Nigeria. I just learned this tonight myself. So we are going to talk about a bit of Folake's, love for her culture as well. And so, she's the founder of AWO, which she founded in response to the death of George Floyd. And you remember George Floyd was murdered at the hands of police in Minnesota, and there was an eruption of protests worldwide. Black Lives Matter everywhere in the world, including Seattle, where I am. People camped out in the streets for weeks and weeks and weeks. People took over parks. It was historic. And so during that moment is when our sister Folake Phillips started AWO. And I just want you to take us on a journey, Folake. Take us back to your childhood, where you can remember a moment in your childhood between when you are 8 to 12 years old, where something happened that today, as the leader of AWO, you feel that moment is what triggered who you've become, the leader that a number of people are looking up to right now.
Thank you so much, Simon, for this opportunity. You're doing really great work. I admire you. You're an inspiration. And I'm just really happy to be here. Hello to everyone tuning in. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for giving us some of your time today. So that question, back in time. Well, I'm going to, as I try to always do with my current work as a community organizer, it's a lot of how it's set up is shaped by my perspective, my overall outlook to life. I remember in high school, junior year, where I received this award for the friendliest girl in my class / set. So some countries we use set, and it makes me smile even now, simply because I still enjoy very much working with people, making new friends, and in general, just bringing people together for a time of connections and meaningful relationships. And for me, that is one time back when I was really young that I use as a yardstick to remind myself that Falake, you are who you are. You've always been this way, and and so when I look at how our organization is set up, it was only natural that it was along the lines of the multicultural, colorful perspective type lines. The nonprofit, we are very, very happy and comfortable to bring people of different shades to share, engage, and learn about the Black experience. And so, yeah, that's why I set it up that way. Well, firstly, I'm a Christian woman, so that guides everything that I do in general. I have to put that out there.
So, I've been looking at the work you're doing and also learning that this work was inspired by what happened to George Floyd. I wanted you to
Yeah.
just take us to that moment. Why was that moment so significant to you to a point that you decided to start a non-profit organization? And then I want you to talk about the connection of that moment to Juneteenth, which is today.
Yeah. So thank you, Simon. That moment, oh my goodness, it was so important. It's going to be a part of me for the rest of my life. I had been away on vacation with my family, and usually I don't even turn my phone off on vacation, but this time I had done so. And we were on our way back when I turned my phone on, and my phone just exploded with images and messages from different people. And that was how I first found out. And then I made myself, I needed to do this, make myself watch that video because I'm Nigerian. I relocated to the US only in July of 2017. Um, I needed to connect with how an African American person or the average African American person would be feeling right in that moment in time. And I still do that now. I've learned to do that. I've learned to make that a part of what I always do because I'm aware and acknowledge my blind spot as a Nigerian living in the US in terms of understanding the history, learning, educating myself, and what have you. So, uh, so that point in time for me, it really I felt so bad because it felt like the scales literally fell out of my eyes, and I felt like I had disappointed my late father, who was very instrumental to my life in every way, shape, and form, even till now, who was a congressman in our home country of Nigeria, who was a man of means but never forgot about people. And he loved his constituent and served his constituent and worked his way from the grassroots up. And the reason I say so is that I felt disappointed in was because I had relocated to the US, and only about 4 or 5 months after I'd gotten pregnant with our first son, with my husband at the time, who was my fiance, and I too was caught up in being pregnant, moving home to a bigger home because in Nigeria we're used to bigger homes and what have you, and just not being fully aware of the wider issues going on within the country. Excuse me. And so, yeah, so I felt I let him down, and that was an awakening. It was a rude awakening, but it was an awakening for me to get to work. There's more to life beyond you. There are people out there in pain, people out there struggling, and their issues. Whatever you can do, you have to serve. You have to be selfless. And so I turned that situation around from feeling like I let down my dad and saying, okay, I'm going to get to work. I'm going to emulate some of the things that you have imbibed in us. And yeah, and I got to work doing that. And so when it comes to Juneteenth, that was another rude awakening. I knew about Juneteenth last year. And when I say rude awakening, it's really how I'm assessing myself at each point in time and realizing, oh my goodness, you really need to be just more aware and invest in really being conscious now that you're here and living in the United States. And so when I found out about Juneteenth last year, I was really shocked that it wasn't a big, grand national celebration where it was, people of all shades getting together, every American celebrating. I knew 4th of July. I mean, I knew the controversial Thanksgiving, but I only knew Juneteenth last year. And for something as significant as, the end of slavery, such an evil institution, and a nation rising above it in 1865, and not many people knew about it historically, education-wise. I was appalled by that when I found out, and I decided that that was going to be part of my organization to celebrate and promote Juneteenth. It touches on me as a Nigerian, as an African, particularly as a Nigerian, because a lot of slaves came from West Africa to these parts.
Thank you for sharing that with us. So it seems, leadership is not something that is new in your family, um, and leadership is like a calling. It's hard work. A lot of the time, leadership is also a lonely
Yeah.
road. You are alone. For example, with the type of festival you're producing, the Humankind virtual festival. Talk to us about the challenges you're facing about with this festival, the excitement that you have about it, and what people should do to join you for it.
Let me take the sandwich approach here and start with an excitement and then a challenge and finish off with another excitement.
Okay.
So, first off, my where I'm from in Los Gatos, California, a county of Santa Clara, they took notice of what we were planning to do, and they're a title sponsor
Mm,
of this Humankind festival. This is our inaugural festival. Yeah, it's our
congratulations.
inaugural. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. It's our inaugural festival. It's the first of its kind. It's a dream that is coming to fruition, and the county recognized that this was something powerful to aid equitable systems. And so I'm very happy about that. I'm equally happy that Supervisor Otto Lee, whose office provided the funds for it, is also so supportive of us. And he endorsed us, he provided an endorsement video for us. Um, but in terms of challenges, I mean, the usual for a new 8-month-old nonprofit organization. You have, and being a social justice nonprofit organization, you first of all face the challenge of pushback, and anyone doing this work has to be ready for that. That's the beauty of the way our world was created by my God that I believe in, that power of choice. And so,
what are some of the pushback that you're getting,
so
currently?
So when I talk about the pushback, it's in reference to my local community where there are people like myself, the mayor of our town, Madam Mayor Mariko Sayok, who who's promoting inclusion and more diversity and working with someone like me, a member of the community and a community organizer, who would have meetings and have people sort of crash into that meeting and try to distort it. Um, you know, the community people, some people, not, writing racial slurs around buildings where people can see it. And the beautiful thing is when there's pushback, there are also people who are equally supportive and giving a balance. So I don't want to give much credence to them.
Right.
I just want to make sure anyone starting out doing this or who has been doing this should always be prepared for that and to just keep amplifying the support factors, the supporting groups, and what have you. For example, I knew of this issue of the racial slur written in the town by a group of people for social justice who are like probably 90% white, who are fighting the good fight, the good cause, just to give an example of how little one should focus on the pushback. So that's a small challenge. I think the other challenge I could talk about is in doing something for the first time and doing it with little resources and just finding ways and finding creative ways to get it done regardless, because you know you have to deliver, because you know you have a standard, because you know you're championing yourself on the inside and you have people championing you as well. So that's the other challenge. Another exciting thing here that I will finish off with is just the fact that I'm seeing the beauty of our setup of looking at how America hasn't converged all of its stories just yet into a larger, wider American story, simply because uh, for me, you could be Black, Asian, indigenous, white, whatever culture, whatever ethnicity. The true stories of everyone hasn't converged into one larger American story. And that's why we are doing this Humankind Fest 2021 in this way, with a title of our community, our story, and a theme of human kindness and kinship, where we are bringing together diverse voices to dismantle inaccurate stories and to pretty much reimagine new narratives that bring us more social structures. I'm very excited about that and how we're using this festival to do that, because we have artists that are African American, African artists, a Muslim, a poet who is Muslim. We have two Asian American artists as well. So just bringing these diverse voices together to show how equitable structures can be built, and dismantling inaccurate stories by presenting their own stories is one beautiful thing that we're trying to achieve with the festival.
Wonderful, wonderful. Have you ever organized a festival before, prior to this one?
Not organized, but being a part of a team for a jazz festival in Nigeria.
Tell me more
So
about that.
How about that? So I handled some of the marketing and sponsorship aspects using my. So in Nigeria, before I relocated here,
Mm.
I provided concierge services
Give
for.
a moment for that. I just want to give
Okay,
a shout out to a number of people who are watching this live.
great, great.
I see Obsidian. Thank you for being here. Obsidian says truly beautiful. And then I
Thank
see
you.
Olu TV saying hello. And then my wonderful sister Chiumba Osome is also here.
Hi,
She's saying wonderful interview. Thank you all for
thank
joining
you.
us. Share the link
Thank
with
you.
others so that we can have a few more people joining this
Yeah,
conversation. It means a lot. So, Lucky, do you have
yeah.
anything to say to the people who are watching?
Yes, hi. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you next week, Saturday and Sunday, at the Humankind Fest virtual festival and social justice hackathon. I'll get to the social justice hackathon bit. We're just trying to use innovative ways for collective problem solving. That's why we're doing that and bringing a social justice hackathon concept, finding something different that we can showcase from our own community that hopefully other communities within the US and around the world can emulate.
Wonderful,
Thank
wonderful.
you. So thank you, everyone, and hope to see you there.
Now, paint for me a picture of this Nigerian jazz festival that you're involved with. I just want to hear some of the sounds
Some of it.
and
Oh, so
your
yeah,
involvement with it, your technical involvement with producing it, but also,
yeah.
some of the artists, just a little more.
Yes, so this was about what years? This 2021. This was in 2016, 2015, 2016. And like I said, I was more because I work with corporate Nigeria and some multinationals. I was providing concierge services for them and managing their events. I worked with the team to get sponsors for them and brought in a lot of good sponsors for them. So I was more of sort of marketing for sponsorship for them. I wasn't so much in the core technical aspects of it. However, it was a well put together festival. They had jazz artists from the U.S., from South Africa, from uh, where there was another country from Africa, and of course our local jazz artists as well that participated. It was really nice, but I was largely involved more in the marketing sponsorship aspect because of my clientele that I had. I was able to bring sponsors in for them.
So you're good with looking for sponsorship for festivals. Is that what you're
I'm
saying?
yes, in Nigeria, and then here I'm trying to hone my skills and
But you
and
already
find
got
it.
funding for this festival, so you know what you're doing. You should be proud of yourself.
Yes,
Yeah,
very,
you
very,
should be
very,
so
very.
proud of yourself.
Yeah, I
So,
am.
many people in Kenya, where I come from, or here in the US, when they think about black fathers, tomorrow is Father's Day, by the way.
Yeah.
So, think about your response to this also in reference to tomorrow. A lot of people take it that black fathers are not responsible, they're absent. And part of why I started this podcast is to change the narrative about black fathers and encourage as many black and African young fathers like myself to share their stories, more of their stories, online, and change the narrative about who we are by their actions. So I want you to imagine that you're talking to all the black fathers worldwide. You have the microphone. Talk to them. Tell them what you feel about them.
Thank you for this. I'm a very big supporter of Black fathers. I admire you. I encourage you. I'm saying all of this through the lens of my father, who is late now, who was a wonderful person, dedicated to his family, um, very committed to his constituent, gave of himself, would have tutors, be by us to help us with our schooling and still go to work, come back late at night and still say, I am the best teacher you can ever have. That is what I know about Black fathers. I've got lots of friends who are Black who are great fathers. I am so glad that you're here and you're a part of the show that Simon puts together for about fatherhood and changing the narrative. The truth is, if something is labeled, we have to find out why it's labeled. And if it's doing us a disservice, then we must all come together to shed off of those inaccurate stories, just like I am trying to do in terms of what we're doing at our. So for me, I want to say more power to you wherever you are, Black Father, whether you are in the US, whether you're in Kenya, whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're in Europe somewhere, or even in Antarctica, wherever you are, shout out to you because we know that because of supremacy, anti-Black violence is real, and we have to fight and do what we can to address inaccurate stories just by showing our strength, our commitment to ourselves, to our families. And so I love all the Black men out there standing tall, standing proud, regardless of whatever challenges that they're facing.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah. I just created a room on Clubhouse for our after party, so
Yay.
I don't know if I can add you there yet, but I want to add Chiyumba if she's available since she's watching this. Um, Technology is making it possible for us to do so many different things at the same
Yes.
time.
Yes.
So I am always experimenting with different things. So that's why we are live on YouTube, but this is an after party that we just set up on Clubhouse. But I do want you to share a bit with us now that you've spoken to all the Black fathers globally.
Yeah.
I want you to talk to us about how people can stay connected with you.
Yes, thank you for that opportunity, Simon. The easiest way I would imagine would be via email to me, and that would be at folake@awcenter.org. Do you want me to spell that out? It's FOLAKE at AWOCENTER.org. I'm very open. I'm learning. I'm taking my community along with me on this journey myself in the work that I do. And so I am very open. Please email me. Follow me on Instagram at FolakeOP. That's at sign FOLAKEOP. And yeah, I think those are the best. And and on Clubhouse, you can follow me at our center, at our underscore center. That's at sign AWO underscore CENTER. But I'll encourage everyone to go to our website and register as soon as possible. Right now would be great for this festival. Go to awocenter.org/festival. It promises to be really exciting. We have storytellers, we have poetry, we have African folklore and dance, we have a traditions workshop for the children, for the youths. We have a storyteller, Tamkara Adun, who is one of our friends too, who is very powerful. She's going to bring to life for the youths, particularly the girl child. She'll bring to life the story of Fumilayo Ransom Kuti, who is the late mother of Fela Kuti, who is also late himself. So for someone to be a mother to Fela Kuti, one of Africa's greatest and one of the world's best artists, you know that she's truly the lioness of Lisabi, which is the title she was given. She was a suffragist, a women's and workers' rights activist. She challenged the colonial people that were in Nigeria at the time. She was the only woman that went with a delegate to discuss the independence of Nigeria in the 50s. Remarkable woman. So fantastic story around her that will be brought to life by Tamkara Adun storyteller for the youths and the workshop and so many other beautiful presentations from the artists across storytelling, poetry, dance, and spoken word.
Well, thank you
Oh, I
again.
forgot. I'm sorry, Simon. I forgot to talk about the Social Justice Hackathon on the 27th. So the festival is on the 26th, next Saturday. The
Mhm.
Social Justice Hackathon is on the 27th. And that's where we will all come together in real time and we will start. We'll come together in real time. We'll proffer solutions collectively as different shades of people will come together and to address microaggressions in American society. It promises to be interesting and very engaging because the audience can chime in.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, thank you again, Folake, for joining me today for this conversation. I'm just so grateful. And if you're just joining us today, I have been interviewing a wonderful Nigerian sister. I am live streaming on YouTube, but I just started a room on Clubhouse where we are going to gather in a moment to just engage a little more for maybe another half an hour or less. But I want to thank you all for joining us today. We learned about the story of Folake. We learned about why she's organizing Humankind Virtual Festival. We also learned about her thoughts, her perspectives on Black fathers globally, and we learned how you can stay connected with her and how you can participate in the amazing festivals that she's putting together. I am grateful for your time, and remember to follow me at Okelo Javan on all social media platforms.
I love
I'm
it.
so yeah, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, and I'll see you all very soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Simon. Thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic evening. Pop over to Clubhouse if you're on Clubhouse. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
African father in America.